What if the person you trusted to grow your wealth actually held you back? For years, financial advisors dismissed Bitcoin, steering clients away from one of the best performing assets of all time. They said it was too volatile, too risky, or not a real investment. Fast forward to today, Bitcoin has entered the financial mainstream, breaking through $100,000 per coin with a $2.12 trillion market cap. So how many people missed out because they trusted traditional advice? And what can you do to avoid making the same mistake? Let's mine deep. Financial advisors are supposed to help you build your wealth. But when it came to Bitcoin, they missed the mark, and big. Take this. On a $1 million portfolio, the average advisor charges $10,000 to $20,000 per year. Over a decade, that's 6 figures in fees. But what happens when that advice costs you more than it earns? In 2018, a successful advisor dismissed Bitcoin when a client suggested investing just 1 to 5% of their portfolio. The advisor called Bitcoin fool's gold and a Ponzi scheme. Fast forward to 2024, and that same advisor is pushing clients into BlackRock and Fidelity's Bitcoin ETFs, but only 5% of their portfolio. What changed? Bitcoin didn't. Its fundamentals still remain the same. But now, Wall Street can profit from it. So suddenly, it's safe enough. Or take March 2020. Bitcoin was trading at $3,000, and a financial advisor told the client not to buy because it had no intrinsic value. 3 years later, Bitcoin had soared over 2,000%. The client missed out. In 2021, less than 3% of advisors actively recommended crypto. Why? Many are tied to traditional financial products, mutual funds, ETFs, and stocks that benefit their firms more than their clients. Some advisors even admitted they were looking into Bitcoin personally, but couldn't recommend it. What did clients lose? Let's put this into perspective. If you had invested $10,000 in Bitcoin in 2012 at $12 per coin, you'd have over 41 million today. Instead, many clients paid thousands in fees every year for advice that kept them out of Bitcoin. Now, in 2024, those same advisors are charging fees to invest in Bitcoin ETFs, earning money on the very asset they once dismissed. So why should you care? This isn't just about financial advisors. It's about reclaiming control of your own financial future. Bitcoin was designed to be decentralized and trustless. It doesn't need a middleman. Traditional finance keeps you dependent on their advice, their products, and their fees. Here's the lesson. Be your own financial advisor. Do your own research. Educate yourself about Bitcoin, the financial system, and the incentives behind the advice you're given. Because if you don't, you risk paying the price. Just like those who missed Bitcoin's early days because they listened to experts. Don't miss Mohamed Sanu, Backstage. How you liking your first Bitcoin conference?
I'm loving it and blown away. Blown away. I get chills every time I talk about it. Oh, you can't see much, but I'm getting chills right now talking about it. It's a beautiful experience, like the knowledge, the insight, the connections, the people, the togetherness of the community. It's just fascinating.
What have you learned so far that you didn't know before coming?
One, I learned the power of Bitcoin, honestly. Being in America is not talked about as much. It's not broadcasted like that. And if you don't do your own research, you don't do your own finding of the information, you're not gonna know.
You say that it's not talked about much in America. What are those barriers that you think are happening, or why aren't people so aware?
Well, I think it's one, the uncertainty of it for certain people, but the lack of knowledge. And two, I don't think it's just certain things that they don't want people to know, honestly.
We've known, I really want to go back to your Bitcoin journey. How was it for you? When was that first moment? Because I'm assuming you've had different doses of Bitcoin throughout.
I've had, it was the first started in 2017, 18. And, my cousin was the one that told me about it, and I was a little iffy. I put a little bit in, and it didn't do so well. And I was like, I don't know this. Like, I know football, so I'm gonna stick to this. You know, stuck to the things that I knew, and I would always tell him, like, I don't know it, because he did all his research, and I didn't have the time to do that. I was playing ball, obviously, and when it comes to playing ball and juggling businesses and family, and spending the time with the people you care about, is you try to use your time wise, and even though like that would have been a wise decision, hindsight 2020, you live and you learn.
What would you say was that moment that made you be like, yo, I'm onto something with Bitcoin? Or what qualities of Bitcoin made you think that?
I saw the consistent fight back. When it dipped, it'll go back. If it's dipped, it'll come back. It's always that up and down, and I'm like, it's not going anywhere. It's actually growing and growing and growing. It's like life. It's like any day life. It's gonna be ups and downs, but it's gonna be consistently here. And the simple fact that it's gonna be accepted all across the world, that's the beauty of it. Like at its currency, it's not like American currency, or it's equal level of currency, and that's the beauty of it.
Do you think America's sleeping on Bitcoin right now?
I would say majority of them. I would say majority of Americans are, and including me. I was once, slumber for a little bit, but now I'm woke, and it's time for everybody to enjoy the movement and take a step forward.